Hello, my lovely Hubban.
Wifey, hi.
All right. I know that you don't like cameras, but you have been nice enough to agree to share a little bit about the PD and your history. So I'm going to quit shaking my leg and wobbling the camera and let you begin. First of all, what's your name?
Nathan.
All right. And what is PD?
Peritoneal dialysis.
All right. And what does peritoneal dialysis involve?
There is a catheter that's put through your stomach. It goes into your peritoneum. It's kind of a sac in your abdomen. Uh, the lining of it, the actual peritoneum, is rich in blood vessels. Medicine is put in through the catheter into the sac, and it draws the impurities through the peritoneum into the medicine, and then the medicine is dumped out, and the procedure is repeated several times on a nightly basis.
All right. How about the placement of the catheter? How does that go?
Well, it depends on the doctor. Typically, it goes to the left or the right of the belly button, a few inches to the side, and it goes underneath the skin towards the middle of the stomach, and then it goes inwards, and then it, has about 6 inches that hangs off as a extra,
Tubing.
yeah, tubing.
Okay. Um, how long did the recovery take? The surgery and the recovery?
The surgery only took a few hours. The recovery took about 2 weeks. I was fine afterwards, but they didn't want, any lifting or anything like that for 2 weeks. And I had to have it repositioned once. If it stops draining or stops accepting medicine, sometimes they'll have to go in and they'll have to reposition it. And that time they had me wait 4 weeks until I was able to start lifting things again.
How about the different types of treatments? Like, why did we go with the PD versus the other?
Okay, there's two main types of dialysis. There's peritoneal dialysis and there's hemodialysis. Hemodialysis, they put a shunt in your arm or your leg or somewhere like that. It goes into an artery and other veins. Um, it is a much harsher way to purify your blood. Whenever you hear somebody on dialysis and they're having a really tough time, they're getting sick, they can't do much, that's typically hemodialysis. Your body, it builds up impurities in the blood over time from everything that you eat and drink. And so normally you have, good functioning kidneys that will filter out all those impurities, and you pass it through your bladder. Well, if you don't have good functioning kidneys, you have to get either a transplant or do some type of dialysis. Hemodialysis, you have to go to a clinic. Well, they do have home hemo now as well, but typically people go to a clinic and they have to sit for several hours a day, 3 or 4 times a week, for extended periods of time. Just sit there while this runs, and because of the impurities, they get cleaned, and then the scale starts going up. The impurities do, and it keeps going up and up and up until 2 days later, when they go get it cleaned, and it drops real quick. And it's not just impurities that are being cleaned. You lose some vitamins and minerals as well in this process. And so you feel extremely weak, you get nauseous, your blood pressure will drop, it increases while the impurities are in there, and then it drops real quick with the hemo. So there's a lot of inherent problems with the hemodialysis that just makes people feel like crud all the time. Peritoneal is a much gentler way, it's slower, it's every night, so you don't have that buildup of impurities. that's really the best way to go. You can do it at home where you're sleeping and not take up your time.
All right. How about portability of your machine?
Well, the machine weighs 35 pounds. We use a Baxter machine. There's several different brands. It is somewhat portable. You can take it with you whenever you go on extended trips and everything. And airlines do not count it as any type of luggage. You can carry it, carry on, I believe it's called. You can actually take it with you onto the plane, but they don't count it as anything, so you don't have to worry about it counting towards your luggage. If you are going just for a night or two, it's extremely convenient because you can do what's called a manual cycle, where instead of having the machine that puts the medicine in and takes it out and everything, you actually have two bags that one with the medicine, and you fill up and you let it sit while you're doing whatever you're doing on your trip, and then after 2 hours you drain it out and you put more medicine in, and so you can continue doing whatever you want to do without having to worry about meeting timelines and schedules and everything like that. It's much more convenient.
All right. Do you want to give us any backstory, like how you came to be on dialysis?
I was just born with some issues where my kidneys were in a situation where they were put under pressure constantly. My bladder was having some issues and was backfilling towards the kidneys. It damaged my kidneys. We didn't find out until I was 3. So by the time we found out, it was already too late. We knew that whenever I hit puberty, I would have to have a transplant. Luckily, my dad was a candidate, and he gave it to me. I had that kidney for, gosh, it's been 12 years now, and it still works, just not as well as it should. So that's why I'm on PD now.
All right. So you're young and you have a pretty full life. Tell us some about what you do.
Well, I have a son. We have a son. He is 2, fixing to be 3. He is a big ball of energy. He loves to play and wrestle and everything. I love to do woodworking. I fix computers here and there whenever people have one for me to fix. If somebody needs help with something, I'm always happy to help them with whatever it is. I do not work because of the kidney issue. I am on disability, and so I'm not allowed to work, but hopefully if I ever get a transplant, that will change. But I do fill my days with just doing whatever I can. So I have to take naps every once in a while. That's about the only drawback.
And if you had any words of encouragement, or anybody that might be facing going on dialysis, any words you'd like to give them?
Well, as far as PD goes, since that's really the only thing I have experience with, it's not nearly as bad as you might think it is. It's more annoying than anything because you have to take care of the catheter site. You got this tube that goes into your stomach, and there's basically nothing. There's no type of interface between it and your stomach. You just have a hole that it goes through. Of course, it's a very tight-fitting hole around the tube, but it is there, and it is possible to get an infection. So you have to be extremely careful with what you do. You have to clean it very well every day. You have to maintain it, and you just have to do overall good hygiene and take care of yourself. But the catheter is it's really annoying to take care of every single day, and you have to be careful with it and stuff. It can be pulled out, which would hurt. So it's just annoying, but it's not painful. It's not the end of the world. So you can continue on.
All right. All right. Well, I think that's got it for tonight. Maybe some videos to actually show what you do later on, but tonight I appreciate you doing this, and I think that wraps it up.
All right.
Thank you.